These damn zombies again. Hey, how you doing, guys? Welcome to Beer Popcorn. Today I have a feeling to explain to you what is the difference between Resident Evil of Milla Jovovich and the real Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
Idiot. Сука, блядь! Блядь! Сука, блядь! Чего, блядь?
I know that a lot of you don't like that because or you were born later than 2000 and you didn't have a chance to play the real original PlayStation Resident Evil with two discs. The one you can play with Claire and the other one you can play with Leon. Does anybody hear this noise of something is dripping? I don't know what it is. Is it the blood or is it just water? When you mention Resident Evil, everyone immediately thinks of the film series with Milla Jovovich. And those who haven't played the game will probably be right. Because of the story of the zombie virus in Raccoon City, they could only see in this film. But the story didn't start quite as they showed us in the film with Milla, or rather almost not at all. Perhaps I'll start from afar, but that would probably clearer. Once upon a time we all played Super Mario on the Dendy console, and recently an excellent animated film Super Mario Bros. Was released, making it a great gift for all those who played the game.
What is this place?
While mentioning this, you might ask, why did I remember all this and why draw parallels? Well, it's simple. Around that time, a bit later, when everyone had already switched from the Dendy and Sega consoles to the new Sony PlayStation, the game Resident Evil 2 Biohazard was released. It became an absolute hit. It had two discs, each focusing on different characters, and their stories eventually intertwined in the game's plot. You could start, for example, play as Claire, who arrives in Raccoon City after a long absence and immediately finds herself in a very strange situation with people who are now not quite human.
Hey, baby, get higher, girl.
What's he do? Just say bass.
Or you could start as the police officer Leon, who went out to patrol the city but encountered complete chaos. We all anticipated a movie based on the game, but when it was released, it turned out that the film told the stories of the characters directly involved in the unfolding situation in the city. The movie turned out fantastic, with great actors and a compelling plot. However, it was still something different, not quite what we were expecting. And so the series kept coming out and coming out, apparently until the creators ran out of ideas and Milla Jovovich grew tired of playing. And only after that did the film we were waiting for finally came out. Although no one was waiting for it anymore, because over time we completely forgot that things were not as they showed us for a very long time. Now about the movie. The plot is actually quite good. The creators tried not to spoil anything. On the contrary, they attempted to almost entirely transfer the atmosphere, events, characters and their traits to the screen. Although there were small details, but it's good that they are small. For those who still remember the game or perhaps still play it now, both the similarities and differences will be immediately noticeable. Similarities abound here, from Claire's arrival in the city to the appearance and movements of the zombies. Even the falling of shell casing after a gunshot happens with the same sound. The zombies in the movie initially behaved just like they did in the game. Slow, leisurely, shuffling, wheezing, reaching out with their hands, trying to grab a bite. The horror lies in the fact that there is nowhere to escape in confined spaces, and they just keep coming and coming. By the way, did you hear that noise? The light from flickering lamps is very dim, and you can only make them out after the flash of a gunshot. The aim was dwindling, and hitting the head accurately is not a guarantee every time. Many criticize the filmmakers because it's nearly impossible to see how people fend off the Galatian zombies in the dark corridors. This is because after Dawn of the Dead and Resident Evil with Mila Jovovich, everyone got used to the idea that zombies run very fast and people mow them down with helicopter-mounted machine guns in broad daylight. But I'll say it again, in this movie they tried to preserve the style and atmosphere of the game, which served as benchmark for the Resident Evil films with Mila. However, the difference seeming insignificant eventually have an impact on the plot. The first notable difference, and in my view a crucial one, is the appearance and behavior of the police officer Leon. In the game, he was a self-sufficient individual with a normal haircut and character. In the movie, we see somebody different, that's all. Next up is a story with orphanages and a mysterious girl with a bag on her head. Personally, I don't recall anything like that at all. Claire, almost like in a game, even dressed in the same red jacket, but her character and appearance are different. This Claire is rougher. The softness and femininity of the game's Claire seems to have disappeared. Additionally, there is an overly detailed explosion of the stories and characters of supporting characters and about whom we only got few words in a game. It becomes apparent right after the start of the movie the truck driver who brought Claire is given too much time. In the game he simply overturned in the city and then that was it. Here he tells stories, interacts with the dog and transforms for a very long time. Due to such side stories of non-key characters, we didn't get to see all the mysterious places and bizarre mutants. Also in this movie, the elements of puzzles, ciphers and enigmas that were present in the game at every step is completely lost. Fortunately, they managed to preserve the main monster and its transformation that we liked in the game. However, it was done somewhat soullessly and hastily. And of course, in the final, everything was as it should be. No other ways. Many were outraged at how everything turned out so simple. In reality, it depicts the conclusion of the game process. You want my recommendation? Did you hear that again? I would definitely recommend it primarily to those who played Resident Evil 2 Biohazard. They will have things to remember and look for. For others unfamiliar with this game, you can still watch it as another horror film about a small zombie apocalypse. But the main thing to know is that you should never draw parallels, and remember Resident Evil with Mila Jovovich, she has nothing to do with this. The game on which the movies with Mila were based is the primary source. This movie is what it's supposed to be from the beginning. Thanks a lot for watching. Beat the popcorn, like, subscribe, and see you in the next episode.